What is up, guys? You know who it is. It's your allies behind enemy lines coming at you on this beautiful Monday morning, Monday afternoon, December 28th, 2020. The not second to last show until this is the penultimate show of 2020. As always, make sure you're liked, rate, subscribed, and all that good stuff on Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, ring that notification bell here on YouTube. So as soon as this latest video drops, you are always up to date on the latest and the greatest of the Washington football team. Joey, how was your weekend? How was your holiday, bud?
It was good. It was a great seeing family and hanging out with my family and just enjoying what we can of the holiday spirit this year. So it was a good weekend. Just being around everybody. So I'm glad the season is progressing better than expected.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. So we'll get right into it. Some news just dropped not too long ago. The Washington football team has officially moved on from Dwayne Haskins. It was a move that we all saw coming. It was just a matter of when, not if. And it looks like Ron Rivera and company made the decision to do so following yesterday's performance. It was tumultuous to say the least. The relationship with Dwayne Haskins was short-lived. But it was a move that I think everyone knew that it needed to be made. Ron Rivera came out and said that after he spoke with Dwayne Haskins, he said that he let him know, look, I think this is best for both parties. You're not getting anything from this. We're definitely not getting anything out of this. And we can't really keep riding this roller coaster together of on again, off again. You're a starter, you're not. We're benching you. You're back in there. You're breaking rules. You're punished. You remove the captaincy. So it was, like I said, very tumultuous, very rocky ride, but it has finally come to an end. Maybe a week too late or a couple of weeks too late, but it is what it is. And Dwayne Haskins now a free agent, no longer a member of the Washington football team. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I mean, I was probably, not really shocked. Like, it's not the craziest news I've ever heard, but a little shocked that it happened. I definitely thought he played his last game as a Washington football team player yesterday, but I didn't expect it to happen so suddenly. So I was a little bit shocked when I saw the report come across. But as you said, and as Ron Rivera said, it's best for both parties. I mean, as you said as well, the relationship has been rocky at best. Coming in with the coaching change regime, never was Ron's guy. Ron, just definitely never really pumped him up that much either. He just kind of he spoke the truth of what it was, what he saw. He comes in and he works hard, what he saw. And when he did not get it done in the field, he got benched, got relegated to the third position, was inactive for a couple weeks. Due to unfortunate events to Kyle Allen and Alex Smith, we were forced to, give him another opportunity. And which I think was good in a way. Looking back now, as I dissect and look back on this season now as a whole, and we have like the Monday morning quarterback thing, and you can say, because there was still a huge community within this Washington football team fan base that thought that Dwayne Haskins still needed another chance and was the answer. And I think that's all been laid to rest. I don't know if there's anybody out there who can call themselves just not a Dwayne Haskins fan, but a Washington football team fan and think that guy is what this team needs moving forward. You said his performance on and off the field has not shown anything to go with what we have going on with the culture of this new team. So moving forward, it was the only sore spot. You got that beautiful picture you're painting, of this new great thing. It was like the one bad little spot. I want to call it bad. It's the spot that didn't fit right now. It didn't fit within that picture. And so I'm glad we have it plucked before coming up on the biggest game of this team's, existence.
Well, at least of recent memory.
I'm talking about Washington football team. Washington football team, the biggest game of their existence.
Okay. That's a good point. The Ron Rivera Dwayne Haskins relationship very much reminded me of the Jay Gruden RG3 relationship, where RG3 was Mike Shanahan's guy, and when Jay Gruden
not really.
Here, and then when Jay Gruden came in here, it was he was all about Kirk Cousins, and so it was very strange. Like you said, he wasn't his guy, and I knew coming in that it was an uphill battle for Dwayne because of that. He was a previous coaching staff's quarterbacks draft, and I don't even know that Jay Gruden really wanted Dwayne Haskins to begin with. It was more of a Daniel Snyder pick. You're stuck in this weird spot of, did anybody on this team other than the guy that signs the checks really want this guy to be your quarterback? And then you add in all the stuff, the inconsistent play, like you said, the off the field stuff of just being a bonehead, and I think we really saw it last week, but then this week really put that nail in the coffin of Dwayne Haskins had zero business being a starting quarterback in the NFL just yet. It wasn't even just bad football. It was just like inept football and incompetent football play out of the quarterback position. You could make the argument that he was trying to force a few too many things, but there's a difference of trying to force things and then just being dumb, or not that Dwayne Haskins is dumb, but just making dumb decisions and making poor decisions with the football. And so I think, like you said, it'll be a long time, I think, before we see Dwayne play quarterback again for an NFL team. And I don't mean that he won't be on a team. I definitely think somebody will pick him up and sign him. Somebody might think that they can, find a place for him or maybe get to him and get him the proper tools and training he needs. But as far as actually suiting up and playing an NFL game, yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon for Dwayne. No ill will, much like the RG3 situation, no ill will towards him. I know if he does land somewhere, I'll always kind of keep an ear and an eye and see what he's doing. But like I said, this is one of those relationships where nobody's happy, everyone hates each other, and it's just really not working out. So the best thing to do is go your separate ways and realize that it just didn't work out, and that's all you can really chalk it up to. It did not work out for either party.
And if for those that listened to the last episode, and for those who didn't, one thing I had said, if Dwayne Haskins was given this chance, which he was given, to play against Carolina on Sunday, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Look like you deserve that chance. And he did not at all look like he deserved that chance. And people can say, oh, this and that. But you have the look, and I saw the look on his face. I've dealt with people enough in my life to look when they're just done and they're finished and they're beaten. And he had that look in his eyes, just that he was done. He was done. He had not a look of a competitive, fiery person that wanted to go out there and win a game and win a division for a team. I mean, Taylor Heinicke, who came in there like that, just feel the difference of the whole team, the sidelines. When you have somebody that you can tell is going out there trying to win a game, it doesn't matter what actually they're doing. He could have thrown 18 interceptions for all I care. If he looked like he was trying to win the game, if he looked like he was throwing himself all over the place, but he did not look like a person that wanted to win a game. So you don't have someone like that, then you can't teach that. So I'm glad it was done now. I knew it was going to be done eventually. I think we shouldn't waste another second of our time talking about that. It was a mistake that an era. They said I like what they said on NFL Network earlier. The Dwayne Haskins error is over, and so yes, let's just move on from this error.
Yeah, no, that's it. Very much was. As a somebody said on Twitter earlier today, PFT commenter. He's a big Washington football fan. He said, "Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it Haskins." Nice little wordplay there. But yeah, so as like I said, we bid him adieu. Good luck in future endeavors. Hopefully he finds a home. But going forward, big game Sunday night, flexed into primetime, which is going to be really tough. Tough game against Philadelphia because they're going to want to be spoilers. We don't perform well on primetime. Hopefully we've got rid of that as long as Kirk Cousins is gone as well. But it's going to be a tough game. Jalen Hurts is playing well. He had a tough game yesterday against the Cowboys, but he's going to want to prove that he's the starter of this Philadelphia Eagles team and the guy that should be the quarterback going forward. And so it's going to be tough sledding, and it's not going to be an easy out. We don't know if Alex Smith is going to go. He's going to try to play. If he can play, he will. But otherwise, it's going to be Taylor Heinicke. And one thing we saw Chase Young and Dwayne Haskins go out there after Taylor Heinicke took over, and it was kind of weird. Dwayne Haskins, he just kind of went up there and dapped him up. But Chase Young was kind of like, "Hey man, you got this. Like this is all you." And Taylor Heinicke looked right at him and said, "This is what I do." And so Chase Young said he went back to the sideline and was like, "Yeah, this guy's got it. This guy's got it. I trust him wholeheartedly." And from what we saw from him in the brief time, I mean, yeah, he was making the right decisions. If it wasn't there, he was taking off and running. It wasn't just drifting back in the pocket or side to side. He was taking off and running the ball. He was decisive with the ball. And, like I said, it was a short sample size, but, you could say pseudo garbage time, although, if we score again after we get the ball, it's obviously a tight game. But I liked what I saw from him. It was refreshing. It was a nice little jolt of what we needed.
It was, and funny for a guy who was, I think, what they say like 4 weeks ago, was taking online math classes at Old Dominion, and not even thinking about playing. Now possibly has an opportunity to lead a team to division championship. It's just a great story mixed in there. But yeah, I mean, the way he moved with the ball, I mean, like you said, he was decisive. If he didn't see it, he was moving with his feet. And, again, you brought it up. I'm glad you brought it up that, said it was garbage time and they're playing, a soft defense. But, hey, he was taking what the defense gives him. That's all we've ever said to do. That's all we've ever said to do. He threw 2 beautiful passes that, one to Logan Thomas that should have been caught for a touchdown. One to Cam Sims that would have been on the 1-yard line or a touchdown that he dropped in there like dimes. And not to mention, he was, one holding penalty away. I saw the look on, I don't know if you remember that part of the game when they were writing down right before they got the holding penalty when they scored the first touchdown before they, gave it up on downs. But I saw the look on Chase Young's face, and he's like, if you score this touchdown, we're giving you the ball back. And I felt that right there. And then unfortunately, we were a holding call away, from scoring that touchdown to Logan Thomas, which was, a soft holding call in a situation like that, which the way the referees were calling that game yesterday, we can get to in a minute, I'm sure. Yeah. It was just, a place that we were almost there, within minutes with a guy like that. So it was great to see, and looking back, it's funny. Before we came onto this show, I was looking back at our season preview episode. I'm sure you don't remember a lot of it. And I wanted to fast forward to where we are right now to kind of see what we had to say about where we were at today and where we are moving forward. And both of us had picked that we were going to beat Carolina. Thought that we were going to get this win for, Ron Rivera, and that would put us at 8-7. So we were pretty close to where we're at right now. And then the funny thing is, you said right as we came up, was like, the funny thing is, I don't even think Carson Wentz is going to be playing in this game. And you said it, way back then. And you said, but the funny thing is it could be for the division championship. And so I was like, man. So it's just funny looking back now that we are right in that spot. And but yeah, all things aside, if to be able to be in the position that we're going to play the 256th game of the year. The absolute last game of the year for the division championship. If you would have told those guys back there that were doing that show that, we would have been stoked as hell. So enough of the negativity or the crying over this game yesterday. We can look into it here some more as we dissect, exactly when actually pull out the positives we had there. But we are still in a great spot. And I'm still proud of the way this team just fought. Looking at that score, it easily could have been like 127-5 the way it felt. The way that game felt, and then for someone that just kind of just didn't watch the game and saw, they lost 20-13. That was a close one. Just kind of casually thought that, did not know the pain that we went through as we watched that game and the decimation of our team.
Yeah, no, you hit quite a few points there. Yeah, the fact that we said that's way back when, 16, 17 weeks ago is pretty funny. Yeah, like you said, we definitely got to move on from these last 2 losses. Along with getting Dwayne out of the facilities, off the team, I think we can kind of put that negativity to the side and just focus on what's ahead of us and what's in front of us. That's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, and hopefully that they're not playing spoilers, because the best thing is right now is as long as we win, as long as we take care of our business, we're in. We don't have to rely on anybody else. As long as we take care of business, we're good to go. But yeah, as far as the game goes, it started off really bad with the fumble that they called on Dwayne Haskins, where his hand was going forward. They let it play out. The Panthers scoop it up and return it. And then, you fast forward to later in the game, and Mike Davis, they are out quick on the whistle. On that should have been a fumble. And so it was just the inconsistencies of the reffing was tough, because it was inconsistent. It was bad. Like I said, the holding call was kind of ticky-tacky. And then obviously we have the fumble of Steven Sims, who fumbles yet another punt, goes into the end zone. They recover it. They fall in it. That's their first score of the game. And it never really turned around from there. And that's the other thing too, is like the defense didn't play great. They didn't play bad by any means. Obviously we have the interception where Deron Payne, bats the ball up in the air. I forget who came down with it. Do you remember who came down with it? I could look it up here. I forget who came down with the interception there after Deron Payne knocked it.
I don't remember that.
I want to say it was John Bostic. It was one of our linebackers, I believe. Oh my gosh, I can't believe. Oh no, it's Cameron Curl. Okay.
Cameron Curl, that's right. That Cameron Curl. Towards the end of the first half, that was right.
Yeah. So it was Cameron Curl. I thought
I was drawing a blank there. I was like, I don't remember that at all. I was a blocked out, so basking in negativity at that point.
You texted me. You said Deron Payne or something like that. You texted me after it happened.
No, that was on the 4th down stop on the first drive.
Was that the 4th down stop?
Yeah, when they went for it on 4th on their first drive, and then Deron Payne like tripped him up and he fell backwards and fell down on 4th down. That's what I texted you to Deron Payne for.
Okay. All right, that must be what it is. Like you said.
No, I think it was Chase Young. I think it was Chase Young that batted that ball.
That there? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, maybe that was him. Okay. Like you said, just a whirlwind and a lot of things going on the last 24 hours. So yeah, like I said, the defense they did what they could. They were on the field quite a bit more than they wanted to early on because we just couldn't get anything going and established early on in the game. Antonio Gibson looked really good. 10 rushes for 61 yards, 6.1 average. Had a couple catches. J.D. McKissick continues to catch the ball out of the backfield really well. So we had quite a few positives on the offensive side of the ball despite Dwayne Haskins. Peyton Barber was laying dudes out. He dropped a couple shoulders in guys early, and so that was always that's always nice to see. But just like you said, like we've been saying, the interceptions, the turnovers, 3 turnovers on Dwayne. One with Steven Sims. Obviously, the fumble you can't really put on Dwayne Haskins because I don't think it was. I think his arm was coming forward. It was just a snowball.
He didn't have control of the ball. He was like swatting a fumble forward, is what I call that. That's what he did basically. The ball's already loose, and he just swatted it forward. So I mean, it could have gone either way. I would have been happy. Obviously, I wanted it to go our way, but I was like, I'm not gonna get hung up on that call. I would get way more hung up on the fact that they didn't blow the whistle and let the play out. And then, like you said, later on in the game, they didn't do the same exact justice to us. So that would get way more caught on that than the actual, call there.
Yeah, no, I agree. If that's the thing, if they make that call on Dwayne Haskins, you got to let that play out with Mike Davis. So I agree there. You got to have one way, both the same way both ways, and not one way and the other way, on the other side. But I don't know. I don't have much takeaway from this game because Carolina, they played good enough. It was self-inflicted gunshot wound to us. We did it to ourselves. Dwayne Haskins did it to us, and I hate to put it all on Dwayne Haskins because there were multiple drops, like you said, the Cam Sims one, which it was a tough play. He was diving for it. The Logan Thomas touchdown. Antonio Gandy Golden. It was good to see him back out there. Obviously, I meant to mention earlier we released Dontrell Inman before I believe on Friday or Saturday. And Antonio Gandy Golden was in there. It was good to see him on the field. He could have had a couple more catches as well. So it wasn't all on Dwayne Haskins, but like 70% of it maybe on Dwayne Haskins. Like I said, you gotta have your receivers catching balls. You gotta have your punt returner securing balls, and things like that. But I don't know. It is one of those things. These last 2 losses with Seattle and Carolina, I'm just like, all right, whatever. We still have a chance. Like, just, it is what it is. Okay, it's behind us. Now we got to move forward and see if we can take care of this last one, because this is obviously our last chance to do so. So it's like, as long as we still had a chance, whatever negativity happened, I was like, all right, that's fine. It's behind us. But now can we take care of business this time? And that's how I feel this time. And I feel like we really absolutely have to, obviously, again. But it's like this is gut check time for this team right here coming up on Sunday night.
It is, and there was, like you said, there was a lot of positives to take out. Antonio Gibson, he did look like he missed his step. He looked like he didn't look bitter. I mean, he looked like he could have kept running. I think we could have fed him more. But like Ron said in the post game conference, he's like, before I blinked and we're down 13-0. I couldn't run anymore. Yeah. It's like it was just like that. I wanted to stick. That was the plan, to stick with the running game. But that positive coming out of that, a lot of this negativity is going to be out of this team. I think they're going to be very focused on what they need to do. It's against a familiar division opponent. Obviously the quarterback's different, but they don't have nothing to play for but pride, as you said, going forward. Don't want to get too far into that game, going forward. Say that for the next show. But as you said, we got a lot of that negative, a lot of the things out of our system that we probably need to get out of our system, and we can be all focused. And can we win this week? We're like yesterday, I was watching the Ravens game. Watching the Cowboys game, watching different games, trying to figure out what it's going to do now. Now it's basically win, and whoever wins is going to get fed to Tampa Bay, and that's basically how it's going to go. Either we're going to get fed to Tampa Bay, the Giants going to get fed to Tampa Bay, or Dallas is going to get fed to Tampa Bay. barring they keep doing what they're doing. But either way, we want to win this division. We want to go out there. I think this team deserves to put that exclamation point on the end of this season. Now, a lot of people, yesterday were tweeting, why didn't we pull out Dwayne Haskins sooner? Why didn't we put Taylor Heineke in there? It's either here nor there. Put yourself back into everyone's, frame of mind last week, even mine a little bit. Like I told you guys last week, I saw Dwayne Haskins play after the second half, and he looked decent in the second half, and that's the mindset that had, that Ron Rivera saw. So that this decent guy can beat this Carolina team, and we did not see that decent guy, and then he thought, hey, at halftime, that after last week, after a slow start, the second half, he came out here and put points on the board, hey, so we can't really fault the team that much in the decision making right there. We thought we were putting the best guy in the position at the time, but now we think we have all that out of our system. If it's not Alex Smith, it's Taylor Heineke, and Heineke, either way, I don't know how you pronounce it. But either way, I think we're going to have everyone focused on this one game, what we need to do. And I think it's going to be all guns blazing. I've said, that has been my one saying of this whole season. Sometimes this story just writes itself. And it's been an up and down roller coaster ride of a season. And for Alex Smith to have the opportunity to come back possibly and win the division on the last game of the season, it would be the perfect ending to this, like I said, storybook season.
A tumultuous season for sure. It's lots of ups and downs. But yeah, you're right. I do think after the third quarter for sure, we probably could have gone to Heineke and not waited for the last, whatever it was, 5 or 7 minutes, 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. But like I said, it is neither here nor there. It's, hindsight's always 20/20. Who knew that he was going to come in and be that bolt of electricity that he was? I sure as hell didn't. And I don't think Ron Rivera or any of the coaching staff, Scott Turner, did either. So, it is what it is. Now, if we got to roll with him, he's our guy. If it's Alex Smith, he's our guy too, obviously. And that's who we want back there is Alex Smith. Obviously, one of the biggest deals was not having Terry McLaurin. I don't know how we haven't mentioned that yet. Terry McLaurin comes up late in the week, Thursday or Friday, with an ankle injury. He can't go on Sunday. And so, obviously, not having your biggest playmaker out there is going to be huge. Hopefully, we can get him back. Antonio Gibson looks like he's completely fine. So, as long as we have Antonio Gibson and Alex Smith or the version of Taylor Heineke we saw, I do like our chances against that Philadelphia defense. That the defense stinks. Their biggest guy is Darius Slay, and outside of that, nobody is really playing very well.
And then Fletcher Cox, I think, went down yesterday with a stinger, and I think that game changed that game yesterday. I mean, basically, I think they were up 14-0, and then Fletcher Cox goes out, and then that's it.
Nothing after that. Yeah, the Cowboys were really able to run the ball and have a balanced attack, which I think is the key to keeping that defense off balance. But we'll get to that on Thursday. Do you have any final thoughts? I don't have anything else. Like I said, it is what it is. We're on to Philadelphia. Dwayne Haskins is out the door. With that is the negativity that's, I think, was brought onto this team the last 2 weeks. And so, I'm ready to move on. I'm good. We played a poor game. Like I said, we did not play well. Referees didn't work in our favor either. So, you get a couple calls here or there. It's a different game. But all in all, it is what it is. It is another loss, but we still control our own destiny. We just got to win, and we're in. That's all we got to worry about.
Yep, that's it. Win and in. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, looking back on that beginning of the season preview, if we would be in the position we are going into this week where we win and we're in, and we have Alex Smith at the helm, which was what I wanted all along, then we will definitely, we would take it. And so we should take it for what it's worth regardless. We're playing the most meaningful game of this Washington football team in a long time, of this young regime. It's a good week. Let's be positive. Let's start off positive. Let's leave this negativity at the door. And let's start focusing on Philly.
Absolutely. So as always, make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts, subscribed here on YouTube, get that notification bell rung. So as soon as this episode drops, you are notified. As soon as this episode drops on Apple iTunes, it downloads straight to your phone. All you got to do is push play and you're ready to rock. But until Thursday, we got a special guest coming for you to join us on Thursday. It's going to be Parker Hamlet over from Washington Brawl. We were on his podcast a couple weeks ago. We finally lined up some time for him to come on. I want to ask him. He has some Steven Sims takes that I want to get to the bottom of, and I want to see where it stems from. And so we'll bring that up on Thursday, as well as a little preview for Philadelphia, as always. Hopefully after Thursday, we're gonna be triple teaming those victory phones. So we'll save all that talk for Thursday as we wrap up there. But Joy, if you don't have anything else, we will see you guys on Thursday, or excuse me, on Friday. I keep saying Thursday, but it's going to be on Friday, the new year. Wait, so was I wrong at the beginning? This is the last show of 2020, huh?
This is the last show because the last one will drop on Friday. Yeah, so this is the last show of 2020. We misled him the whole time.
Yeah, that's my fault. This is the last show of 2020, and then 2021. From the first day of 2021, we'll be ringing it in with a brand new episode of the Allies Behind Enemy Lines. Make sure you're checking us on Twitter at AlliesBEL, on Facebook at Allies Behind Enemy Lines, all that good stuff. Stay in touch with us. Drop us a DM, drop us something on Twitter, so that way we can stay connected with all our listeners. But until Friday, I don't know why I was saying Thursday. Until Friday, I'm all screwed up from I guess the holidays, from that butt kicking we took yesterday, all that good stuff. But we will see you guys on Friday to ring in 2021 with a preview show of the Eagles. And like I said, Parker Hamlet over at Washington Brawl. Until then, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys then.